everybody, it's Alyssa from KBL Texas Homestead, and today I'm going to be planting some Swiss chard that we had started I think about a month ago, but they are ready to go in the ground. It's just that time of year. The weather is perfect. We've had them in some containers that my husband found out in the back pasture that the previous owners had left, and so they're kind of like a whitish clear container. I'm going to show you guys in a minute, and then he just covered them with plastic, and we've had them outside to kind of protect them from the winter one day, summer one day, spring the next day, fall the next day kind of weather that we have here in Texas. But they did really good. Okay, leave. But anyway, they did really good. He covered them with plastic, held them down with Ziploc ties, and I'm excited to get them in the ground today. Alright, so here they are. Here is the container. See, it's kind of like white. He had punctured some holes for the zip ties and then just had it completely covered with plastic. He had this in there, I guess to help contain the moisture from the heat and from the inside, so it kind of kept it like a moist, kind of like a greenhouse basically. And then we had them in about 1.5 inches of compost dirt that we make ourselves with the mixture of our kitchen scraps like coffee grounds, tea bags, napkins, fruit scraps, vegetable scraps, all that kind of fun stuff. So leaves and grass clippings and all that good stuff, but it makes for really pretty dirt, and it really makes everything just kind of flourish and look so pretty. So that's ready to go in the ground. Alright, so this is where they're going to be going, next to our, don't mind our kale and arugula and lettuce mixture. Everything's kind of wilted because we just kind of moved them from one place to another, which made them kind of go into shock. But I think everything's going to bounce back nicely, and they will be going next to the kale in this little section here. I'm kind of limited on space, as I showed y'all earlier, because we had to put up these fences to guard away our chickens and cat and dog from getting in here, because they loved the fresh soft dirt, and the chickens love to scrape everything up. So I'm excited to get these guys in. So basically what I'm doing to kind of keep it separated from the kale and kind of give it like a little barrier there, it's not much, but just something to kind of give it its own little section. I'm just kind of taking my shovel and making it go sideways and just kind of making like a little line. And that way I kind of know also to stay straight as much as possible so it looks nice and pretty. And I know we're about to plant these guys so that they're in a row. I have some in here that are in cups that we had replanted. They're looking pretty good. And so I'll just kind of place it there and grab the next one. And kind of place where I'm gonna put them at. And then once I get all the cups planted, then I'll start taking out these guys. And when we were doing the lettuce from these containers and arugula from these containers yesterday, the root system in here was super impressive, and so literally you'll see me later on kind of like breaking apart each plant because the root system got so connected. I don't want to break anything, so I'm kind of having to be super gentle but giving them enough root system so that they do really good in their permanent home. So we'll see that here in a second. So basically what I've been doing is just kind of like making the hole like anything else. Because these guys are in the cups, I think I try to make the hole about as big as this cup, and so that way like it'll go from here with the beautiful root system into the hole and just drop it in there. And so if some breaks apart, I totally think that that's really okay, because then they're just gonna spread out and really just adjust to the new dirt. deeper. Sometimes I feel like shovels are nice, but sometimes it's just better to do it with my hand. They're nice to get it started. How about that? Shovels are nice to get it started, but then whenever you really just need to get down in there, just do it with how you're most comfortable. Look at that beautiful root system, guys. Isn't that so pretty? This one's a big one. Y'all, it is March and we have leaves falling here at home where we live. It's so, I mean, it's wonderful because we've been using them for all kinds of things. Like, I've completely rediscovered a whole new meaning to mulch with these leaves because we have an abundance, along of course with putting them in our compost that at first I was like, oh my god, these leaves when we first moved in, but now it's pretty great, but they're everywhere. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Look at the roots. They're even like a pretty pink. That is so cool. I have to share my excitement with you guys because my kids are kind of like, oh yeah. Okay, so I have to be honest with you guys. Look at this root system. That one's yellow. So pretty. I personally, I don't know if my husband has. I don't think he has. I've never even eaten Swiss chard before. But I wanted to plant some. I'm just really excited about, like, you know, just being more healthier and new lifestyle and just really trying to give my body more of what it needs versus what I want to eat. So spring and summer, and once these guys are all ready, is going to be pretty interesting and fun. Awesome root system. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is beautiful. And this one's a little one. So not that impressive of a root system, but it's there, so we'll take it. We'll pick up all these little cups so that we can use them for some more seeds. All right, we have another pink root system. Isn't that just so pretty? I love it. I love pink. All right, so I already dug the hole for this one. And I'm just gonna put this baby in there, just trying to show you guys like what I'm seeing versus y'all just watching me work. Like, that's so boring. So kind of give y'all a little bit of what I see. So earlier this morning the wind was not blowing. It was perfect spring break weather. Now it's like, I don't even know, more like February weather. I say that now, but when it starts to be more summer, I'm going to be complaining that's too hot because we're going to be having high humidity. Start breaking apart. be a Swiss chard that is in here. There are a couple weeds, but I kind of, yesterday I was just kind of coming from underneath the bottom, so I just kind of scoop my hand under here and just kind of follow it out. I don't know if you guys can see. And just kind of feel my way, because these roots are they're like all connected. And so I'm being so gentle because I don't want to break off too much from one plant. Like here's one right here. Or like pull too hard because they're all so intertwined. And these weeds do not help to tell like what root system it belongs to what. But I'm just kind of pulling this one apart. And if you can maybe see like what kind of roots I'm dealing with here, because they were all in this together. And so that's why I'm not wanting to pull too hard, because I don't want to completely destroy. And I'm just gonna bring it over here, lay it there. This might be a little hard to do because I'm holding the camera, but I just kind of want to show y'all like how I was doing it yesterday with these guys, because it wasn't as big of a root system as the ones in a cup. And I'm just kind of moving it to the side with the shovel, leaving the shovel there, kind of dropping it in behind the shovel. And then once I pull my shovel out, slowly the plant kind of just drops itself in there into the hole perfectly. What? Look at me, like a pro, almost maybe. And there's my plant. Again, I'll go ahead and get this in the dirt. Sorry. And just kind of leave that there. Get the next one. Let's see if I can do this on camera. Literally, I'm like so scared to break this root system. Okay, some weeds. Okay, here in this pot, if you can see, I have like 3 different ones. Couple weeds, so I'll go ahead and pull those out because I don't want those to regrow. I'm just going to throw them here into the dirt. Trying to get it through the holes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants in this little area. And I'm just trying to break away the dirt as much as I can before I start pulling. It's kind of starting to come apart. Okay, I did a little pulling there because these guys are just not. Okay, now they're separated. There they are. I'll pick one, throw in there. There's my shovel. Kind of made a hole for it. I might use my hand to kind of dig some more dirt out and just kind of let that go in there. And just fill it back in. Move some of these sticks. Again, this top layer is a lot of compost, so we do have some small matter in there, but it's going to get broken down. It's not going to hurt it at all. there you go, and I'll just keep repeating this process. I got all of the Swiss chard in that was my goal today, to get that planted. Let me turn this around so you guys can see. There it is. That's all of our Swiss chard. It's planted. Don't mind the rustic fence that I'm having to tiptoe over. There we go. We have a little bit of room left in this flower bed, so we'll see what we can put in here. I know we have celery that needs to go in. That is the dirt that is left over from which that I pulled all of the Swiss chard out of. I did leave some dirt in there so that we can start another group of seeds perhaps. But these were the containers. We wrote Swiss chard on there. He would put some string so that we could carry these buckets around. My shovel and the leftover cups from the Swiss chard is in there. And yeah. Sorry, it's been overcast all day and I apologize for the wind, but now I can't see. So I just want to thank you guys for watching me get this Swiss chard in and seeing how I kind of attacked it. But I am glad to say that I can check that off of my to-do list of chores for today. It was just one of those things that on top of everything else that needs to be done on a daily basis, it was just something that I was like, I'll do it later, or you know, we go and attack everything else, but then this needs to get time spent on it. And so I was able to do that today. So thank you for coming along with me and watching me as I kind of incorporated my own little techniques. If you guys have any helpful hints or tips and tricks to help me maneuver this a little faster and easier, please drop them in the comment section. And of course, if you like following us and watching as we transform our property into a farm and being more self-sustainable, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys.